Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Lafayette's Game of the Week. I'm Gary Lavach, the play-by-play voice of Lafayette football. There are Lafayette football games, and then there are memorable Lafayette games, special events that are etched in the minds of every Lafayette fan. Perhaps the greatest is game number 150 in college football's most played rivalry. The rivalry took on greater importance, if that is even possible, when it was announced the game would be played in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. A sellout crowd of 48,256 was on hand, the second largest crowd to watch a football game at the home of the New York Yankees. Game 150 was played on November 22nd, 2014. Frank Tavani was Lafayette's head coach, faced with a starting quarterback who had not played all year. That quarterback, Zach Zweizig, is part of our panel of analysts who will watch the game with you and comment on the play. He is joined by Ross Scheuerman, Lafayette's record-setting tailback, and linebacker Bryant, who was playing in his first rivalry game. Lafayette Sports Network's Mike Joseph is the host. CBS did the production. No commercials, no sideline interviews, and no halftime. Just a look back at Lafayette Lehigh, number 150. Enjoy the game. Here's Mike Joseph.
Well, welcome everybody. What a terrific chance to reunite with some of the best Leopards we've ever had here on College Hill, and obviously look back at one of the best games in the history of Lafayette college football. It was an unbelievable game, and for a moment in time, we stopped time and not only took down the Mountain Hawks, but had the unbelievable chance to play at Yankee Stadium, the Mecca for sports. And today I'm going to be joined by some of your most famous Leopards. Bryant, who was a freshman at the time. Bryant, one of the best linebackers ever to play on College Hill. Zach Zweizig, the quarterback that came alive after 18 games and not playing, came out and said, listen, I can do this. Zach Zweizig was a senior. Great to have you. And Ross Scheuerman. Who can forget Ross Scheuerman? One of the best, if not the best running back to ever don a Lafayette college football helmet. And we also have Coach McFadden here, the defensive coordinator currently at Lafayette College. At that time, the special teams coordinator and also the defensive backfield coach. Guys, welcome. We'll start with you, Coach. What an unbelievable chance to get these guys back on campus. Well, back obviously in Zoom and check out this game. We're going to start this game in a couple seconds here, but great to have everybody back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. It's unbelievable to sit here and look at these guys right now. They all still look the same, like they're ready to put on a Lafayette helmet and get out there and play. And we will take you if you have some eligibility. Let's go.
Yeah, one more snap, Coach. One more quarter each and every one of them. Great to see you guys. Obviously, you're all still in the area. Zach in Philadelphia, just outside the city in Jersey City. Ross Scheuerman, and down in the Princeton area, Bryant. Guys, we're going to have a good time. We're going to watch this football game from start to finish. And I tell you what, it's going to bring back a lot of great memories for you guys as we take a look at the unbelievable crowd. Guys, 48,000 people. Tell me a little bit, Ross, what were you thinking? I mean, coming out of that tunnel had to be special.
Yeah, it was awesome. I honestly don't even remember running out. I don't think it was just an exhilarating moment. But we were so locked in. We were so locked in and ready to go. I don't even think we noticed the crowds. We were just so fired up and ready to go.
Sure. And Zach, what are you thinking right now? Hey, I just can't wait to get the ball. And you know what? We're getting the ball.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. Feels like a lifetime ago, but
yeah,
should be good. Wow.
Yep. And Brandon, a freshman, playing at Yankee Stadium. Unbelievable. Here we go. Let's take a look at the kickoff here. And right there, I just saw it, Coach. Rob Hinchin lighting a guy up right off the start.
Right off the start. I know my brother-in-law was sitting in the stadium at this point, and he saw that hit, and he was like, wow. So it's going to be like that, huh? Well, you guys showed up and played. So
set the tone for the whole game. And if people don't understand that, Rob Hinchin was one of the frontline guys on the return team. And instead of bailing and catching a guy 20 yards downfield, he attacked the front line and basically took out one of their best players for almost the whole game. So set the tone as you get a look at you, Zach Zweizig. Look at nice and young and ready to roll.
I don't know who that is.
First play. Hey, what do you do the first play? Well, what else would you do, right? I think you turn around and hand it to the best running back we've ever had, right?
Not a QB draw? No?
No.
Offensive line today, Zach Zweizig just needs to manage this game today.
I think that was one of maybe 20 times we ran that same play.
I know. Well, I remember Coach Stevani saying if we have to give it to him 50 times, we're giving it to him 50 times. So I tell you what, a lot of 2 tight end sets, right, guys? I mean, you guys had a lot of 2 tight ends, even some 3 tight end sets, if I remember.
Yeah, definitely. We had the big guys in there ready to roll.
They've given up some pressures and sacks, but on a day like today when it's cold, it's down.
Well, you pick up 5 on the first play. Always nice to have second down. And look at this. So nicely done. Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Starting defense.
Well, there's some good players on there, but their leading tackler, a big playmaker,
Something about going to the left
Matthew
that day, huh?
Law, a junior. He's a guy that shows up on film when you watch him play. Had a career high 9 tackles his last time.
You guys had a heck of an offensive line. That really, I mean, that was a chance for that offensive line to shine. Look at this, 2 tight ends, flush set.
Stretch.
I mean, I guess we're going to go left, huh, Ross?
Yeah. I mean, that was too easy. We got the edge sealed there and little
Well, if
stretch
I
play to
remember
the left.
correctly, they played that small stand-up defensive end. I don't remember his name, number 40. But we hooked them all day long and actually got the tackle outside.
Yeah, I kind of remember we ran a lot into the boundary because of the defensive they gave to that look. So we did that a lot this game.
Right.
Rushes, 25 yards, Ross Scheuerman.
All left.
Right at the 50-yard line. First pass from Zweizig goes to guess who? Ross Scheuerman. That's 4 plays from scrimmage, 4 touches for Ross Scheuerman.
Well, we talked about
One thing about Coach Stevani, he was true to his word.
Yeah, right.
Always nice to get that first pass complete too, right, Zach? Nice, easy toss to the boundary.
Calm nerves.
Didn't get the production that they're used to having out of him, but early on, he's been hot.
I think I remember the first 15 plays, there was not one negative play. We might have had a run for 0, but there wasn't one negative play on the entire whole first quarter.
It has been 100% on the opening drive. Second down, give it to Scheuerman again, trying to bounce outside. He is short of the first down marker at the 40. Ross Scheuerman, a native of Cream Ridge, New Jersey, that's just south of Allentown.
Dan Delavade. I remember Danny Delavade? He was leading you right there as a fullback.
At Yankee Stadium, thinking about this day, November, meeting number 150, when he would be on the field here, playing at Yankee
The crowd's
Stadium.
out of it now, right, guys? I mean, you're not even noticing the crowd. I mean, it's just let's play football.
But Lafayette putting together a nice drive early.
Especially when you start driving the ball too. You're so locked in.
They go left again.
Well, everyone was saying it was so cold. I think the game was like 38 degrees.
It was.
I
I think it
couldn't
was.
feel.
Yeah,
So
it was a little cold. Yeah.
We had those heated benches that game too.
yeah, that's
Oh, you
right.
did? You had heated
That was
benches?
pretty nice.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Behind the pulling guard, gonna shoot in through. And when linebackers see
I don't remember what time of possession was for this game, but defensively, we spent a lot of time over there on those benches.
Right.
What do we got? 4th and
Zweizig out of the shotgun. He will hand off to Scheuerman, running right, diving, and he has the first
Nice second
Just
effort.
got that one,
just
yeah.
across the 40-yard
Nicely
line.
done.
Campbell makes
Coach, were you in the booth for
but
this
Scheuerman
game? And where
appears
was the
to
booth,
just
if you
enough
were?
to move the chains.
No, I was on the sideline.
You were on the sideline?
Yes.
Well, the way the field was constructed, I wonder how far away were there there were coaches in the booth, right?
We did have coaches in the booth. Our defensive coordinator, Art Link, was in the booth at that time. And I believe Coach Fine, Mickey Fine, was also in the booth.
Yeah, Mickey, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Probably needed binoculars to see the game from there.
Hey, tell me a little bit about, Brandon, tell me about the locker room. You were in the was that the Yankee locker room? What locker room was that?
Yeah, so we were the home team for this game. So we were in the Yankee locker room. Being a freshman, I didn't get the best placement in there, so they had brought in extra lockers, and all the seniors had to actually. Yep, I had the metal ones that they pop
Yeah,
up.
Garrett
Garrett
McNally had Derek Jeter's locker. I remember that.
Yeah.
How did you get that? I mean, my goodness.
His number. Right place, right down.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
And at halftime, you guys went back into that locker room, so you got to spend some time in there, right?
Yeah.
And Lehigh was in the other locker room, in the visitors' locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Sure,
Well, we got a
that locker room was
third down,
just as nice.
third down and 1 here.
Come on, QB draw. I'm feeling it.
Oh, that was a touchdown.
Was that Wheel? Was that
Not
Wheel?
watching this.
Is that? No, it wasn't a wheel. It was just a go route on the outside.
Just to go around.
Yeah.
I just motioned
Just
out.
look.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had that popcorn.
So what do we got now? Fourth down and 1, right? Fourth and 1, 4th and 1.5.
Fourth down before, you have to be able to go for this here. My guess is 29 is going to stay in the backfield. He's going to touch the ball instead of trying to catch a pass on this one.
Long one.
11th play of the drive. Scheuerman on 4th and 1 again.
That might be the one time they stopped us.
The Mountain Hawks take over.
I remember that year their defense was really struggling. They had a lot of problems. Obviously, we didn't have the record that we wanted to have either, but they were really struggling defensively. They didn't have much size. They had some young guys in the back.
They basically started playing this.
They ran a pretty funky defense from what I remember too.
Yeah.
Historic ball game.
Here we go, Brandon.
Lafayette is credited with inventing the helmet and the huddle. More on that later. Shapniski down.
Nice.
Complete. That's Paris.
Jared Roberts, coach, huh?
Yeah, Jared
What
Roberts.
an athlete. What an athlete. One of my favorite players.
He was pretty smooth.
Oh, he was.
I told Jared it was unfortunate for him. He was able to do a lot. He was a jack of all trades, and I had to play him at corner, safety. We dropped down as a linebacker. He did it all.
Yep, played in the box. And
Senior running back who will tote it for Lehigh, our Chick-fil-A starting lineup. Nick Shapniski, the sophomore.
if I remember, Chris Brockman played a big role in this game too. Remember Chris? Really did a nice job, came on some blitzes, did a nice job in coverage. Third number 38.
Yeah, the coaches really were high on
Yeah, Chris did a good job.
about how competitive he was, how hard he plays. He's a dual threat mobile.
Looking at a Phil Parham here.
Like on this play, 2nd and 5. Doesn't get much to make it.
Didn't realize the players that we had out there, but Brandon, you've been a freshman, Phil Parham, a freshman that year, along with Jared Roberts and Matt Smalley.
Matt Smalley, yeah.
Shane Black.
Shane Black can take people's heads.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This was 6 years ago, though. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it, honestly.
Matty Rothrock, right? Matty was
Yeah,
Matty was
Matt
coming into his
Rothrock.
own.
Kasha.
Yeah.
Tasha, right?
Here he goes here, James
There we go,
Kasha.
baby. You know,
Trick.
and it's funny because we had waited so long to start beating Lehigh, but people forget the year before we kicked we killed them. And James
Yeah,
Kasha, remember, had the return for the touchdown. We
Yes.
scored 50 points that day. It was like 50-14, and then they scored late in the game. But this was going to be the second win in a row, which has been tough to come by. Did you guys come to the game this year? Were you guys at Lehigh this year for the Hordenbrock field goal?
Yeah, I was there for that one.
You were there?
Yeah.
How about you, Ross? Did you come back for that?
No, I
Or were you
was
out of town?
Yeah, I was there the year before that, but I wasn't
Year before?
there
But you
last year,
can't have foolish penalties. You can't afford to beat yourself. And creating a scenario like that on third down,
I think we're going to get a
forcing
punt
the
here,
punt
yep.
when your defense showed up and made a play is inexcusable. It's plays like that that can lose you games if you're Lehigh. But both coaches told us they expected some shenanigans early on.
Austin Devine, the Patriot League's leading punter, hits it at the 45. It will bounce inside the 10. Excellent.
Tim Vangelis back to catch the punt.
Inside the 10. Lafayette gets it.
And I remember Deshaun Brown made an unbelievable play as a freshman too, right? Covering
Yes, he
six.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge play.
Scoreless start at Yankee Stadium between Lehigh and Lafayette. Let's take a look at today's Lowe's game improvements. There are 100.
You know, going to this game, the experience that we had to be able to go to the museum and to see all of Yankee Stadium, that was really nice also.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to go out to Monument Park and walk around and do all that? And then obviously spend some time in the city as well, right?
He did.
I think there were, if I remember correctly, there were 49 parties in the city, Lafayette parties going on in the city during the game. For people that didn't, I mean, remember, we went back, by going back to this game, it took 3 weeks to sell out the 30,000 tickets that they put available. They never thought they were going to get, you know, a full stadium. So I think for 2 weeks they put them on, 2 or 3 weeks, and they sold 30,000, and then they figured, let's open up the whole thing.
Finally makes the stop.
Lafayette likes to run a lot of power and counter, which allows the play side of the play, the offensive lineman, to double team up to the linebackers, and you pull up.
Uh-oh, look who's splitting out to the right.
It's one of the most basic football plays. It's been pretty effective here early.
Taking it deep.
Direct snap to Sherman this time. So on the Wildcat, he takes it to the 20.
I'm open, Ross. Come on.
Well plays the first
Hey, did you get a free release or did you have to beat press coverage?
Free
I don't
release.
even think
Thank
they put
God.
anybody out there.
They didn't put anybody out there.
Lehigh's going to need to move a
Should have just
safety
chucked you a little
center
screen out there, a little quick
Yeah.
screen.
to the left into the boundary. Clearly Lafayette-
Zach, are all the butterflies gone now? You're just playing quarterback? I mean, you're just back to normal?
Yeah. Got my first couple throws. Got hit at least once. It was more like that first hit.
Was that a concern?
Taking that.
Was that a concern?
It definitely was. I mean, I haven't gotten hit for a year and a half or so.
Right.
Just a
A lot
throwaway.
of times teams run play action on first and 10. That's a good switch up and play call.
I don't know about you guys, but like you could tell where the infield was with how cold it was. So my footing was a little off, like taking a drop
Yeah,
back.
in our end zone, it was like a rock.
Yeah. That's me. I think I slipped on that. I kind of remember that. Like, I
it
was
was
trying
extremely
to
hard.
drop back
Yeah, it was-
slowly. And I
Yeah, there was
slipped.
definitely parts of the field that was really hard.
Yeah, once you
Yeah.
crossed like I don't know, maybe the 25 or so, it got a bit better, but
Sherman again, stretching it out, turning the corner, picks up maybe 4, so it'll be third down and about 6. Brandon Leaks, the sophomore corner, on the stop.
Well, that's exactly what Lehigh did on that last one, as they rolled the safety down to that weak side boundary, which created some running.
You know, people don't realize, too, that you guys coming into this game had just come off a great win versus Colgate. And I don't, since that time, we haven't beaten Colgate since that day. So, I mean, that was an incredible field goal that kicked, I can't remember the kid's name, but I think he kicked one field goal in his life, and he kicked it for us.
yeah.
I think we won the game 19-16 up there.
Yeah, it's always tough. It was always tough to win up there. I think
Yeah,
that was the only
always.
win we had up
Always
there.
tough.
4 years.
Real cold.
Justin Adams, huh?
Justin
Justin Adams.
J.A.
J.A.
That time Adams was lined up at the number 2 wide receiver position, just going to be on a
Well,
crossing
we'll be
route
remiss
from
if
left to
we don't
right.
say
Ball was on the
anything,
money.
but I
That
continue to see
safety
80
was
running
good.
around here.
I know, and I was waiting
I know.
I was waiting for one of you guys to bring it up because he's going to have a catch at the end of the first half. But Brian Keller, just an incredible, inspirational player. Great family. I've talked to his parents. They still come to games. And I still see them when I park my car under the parking deck. I still see them to this day, and they both hug me, and they just tell me how much the school and how much the staff and how much the players meant to them and still mean to them to this day. And, tragically, 6 months after this game, we lose Brian Keller in June of 2015 in a one-car accident. Just incredible to see. But to see him just puts a smile on your face.
Yes, it does.
There we go, Ross. Get out of my way. Did you have a feeling, Ross, this was going to be a big day, or it was just kind of your composure?
I mean, you don't really realize it in the moment. I figured just because Zach hadn't played in a while, we were probably gonna run the rock a little more. But
yeah,
when you're in the moment, you don't even realize how many times you're touching the ball or how many yards you're racking up. You're just trying to win that game.
Well, this game, what I try to explain to players when I talk to them about Lafayette Lehigh is they don't understand the roller coaster of the game, especially the young kids. There could be 5, 6, 7 good plays for Lehigh, and all of a sudden, it just flips. And then, Lafayette, then all of a sudden, it's such a roller coaster, and you have to be able to endure that. If you don't, things can get away from you quickly.
Zach Zweizig, the senior quarterback, starting because of the injuries to Reed and
Here we go.
The thing I would say, I don't think the game plan, and I don't know, I guess a question for Ross and Zach. Blake was hurt on Wednesday. It was at the end of practice on Wednesday. Yeah. I remember I was standing down and kind of saw when it happened. But it didn't give much time for the game plan to be changed by any means. We continued to do what we were planning on doing, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, I mean, Blake Surface is on the sideline in a cast with crutches. Drew Reed standing next to him, and Drew had such a phenomenal freshman year. Whoa!
Huge
Is that Lamar? That's 8, right?
I'm telling you
that was. I feel like that was the play for you, Zach.
Yeah, I blacked
it was like
out.
after that one.
I was out of body.
You're in the zone, yeah.
Well, I'm serious. That's a play.
I was like, I think I'm short. I might as well just spin and hope for the best. And
yeah.
I think his hit kind of hit me to the first down. But
got it done as well.
Last Lafayette drive, they took it to the 31.
Look at that. Look at him get the edge. Look at that. Oh. And the funny thing is they don't make any adjustment. They just stay in that 6-eye. That guy's in a 6-eye inside the tight end. Look at 40.
Yeah, 40.
Just getting reached. Got no chance.
Yeah, he's small too. That's the worst part.
Yeah. And I mean, our offensive center, I don't know if that was Zadoveski. I can't remember.
No, that was Jano.
Jano?
Yeah.
He actually reached the 3 technique from the center. It's just insane.
Ridiculous.
Second one here for the Leopards. Sherman again on the 23rd play from scrimmage for Lafayette versus just 5 for Lehigh. And there is no question that Ross Scheuerman is going to carry the load today.
Damn, 23 plays already? Wow.
Yeah, first quarter, 23.
Have you guys ever you obviously gone back and watched this game yourself, just throwing it on and watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably one time for me right after it.
Right.
Mom got a couple of DVDs.
Been a little while for me.
Yeah, it's been a while.
There we go. There we go.
I was so gassed at this point.
What was that call? What's that call in the huddle, Ross?
It's, I don't know, a throwback. I forget the exact call.
Yeah, it was like...
I've had to learn so many playbooks. I don't know. I forget.
Well, it's funny because I remember that same play in 2009 when Rob Curley ran the play.
Rob Curley, wow.
Look at Coach. He's like, you got to bring that up?
Yeah.
And it's the same play, right, Coach?
Yes, it was.
Same play.
We needed the throw to be like that, Zach. We needed it out in front of him.
Yeah, he was so wide open. I didn't want to overthrow him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw I had a Quinn Smith sighting there. Quinn Smith, big tight end, number 11. What a drive, 93 yards.
Yeah, I was so gassed at this point. I came over to the sideline like dry, like almost threw up a couple times. I tried to sit on that heated bench, like overheated. Like, oh, it was
well, that was a 14-play drive,
yeah.
And you touched it.
I think
11 times. I counted.
Yeah, look.
Right,
I was like, get off of me.
touches. 11 touches.
I think Deshaun had to come in and spell me first.
Right.
The next series, I was just so fucking fun.
There we go.
3 of those before 1926.
14 plays, 93 yards.
You look like you want no one to touch you.
Everyone came over there like, I'll dapping you up, whatever. I was like, get off of me.
I spent the probably 70% of the day on the sideline with Gary because we got to do some pregame, and then spent the time with Joe Madden, who was the head coach for the Cubs at the time, and he was just, I mean, he enjoyed the game so much. But the chance to talk to him a little bit, and it was unbelievable.
Zach, you got to go to one of his
he actually
games, right?
tweeted at me, and he invited me to the Phillies-Cubs game in Philly. So I went, and he got me into the dugout. We hung out.
Yeah.
But the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, he was awesome. I remember I was out for the it was like the rookie premiere for the NFLPA before the draft, and me and my agent were out in Chicago. They had the draft in Chicago that year, but I got in contact with Joe, and me and my agent went out to a Cubs game.
Right.
We met like all the players, like watched BP on the field. He gave us like a bunch of gear.
I think he was still with the Rays till 14, and then I think in the spring he went to the Cubs. So I think he was still.
They won the World Series that year too.
The Rays season. Right. Yeah.
I think either my junior year, I think it might have been my junior year, I went up to Chicago because Mrazek is from out there. So I went up with a group of guys, and we got to go in the dugout, and we were all hanging out with him. He's awesome.
I remember seeing that picture. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
President
so nice.
Byerly ringing the bell. Look at President Byerly ringing the bell, and she's going to retire this year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Done a really nice job. Really nice job. Very nice job leading Lafayette.
Welcome to the traders and investors on Friday. It has been amazing, and Aaron, you make your football season home here as Yosha takes it near the 25. But I mean, this is
Brandon, were there certain packages for you that you were in the game and on defense today on that day?
Yeah, so a lot of the blitz packages I got brought in to kind of bring some more speed into, so they would take a D lineman out and I would come in for like speed rushes. And then as the game went on, I started getting more time in as well.
Right.
Nick Shapniski, the sophomore quarterback for Lehigh, on 2nd and 7. Shapniski pulls it, bounces it outside, sets up 3rd down as Matt Smalley, the corner, makes the stop. Now, when we did visit with the coaches, and Andy Cohen said, all right, what's it like ticket request-wise? He said, that's been easy because it sold out so quickly. I shoot down anyone who asks me anything about tickets. Hey,
Smalley was a junior at that time, right, Coach? I think he was a junior. Roberts was a senior. He was a junior. And like you said, Parham was a freshman.
Yes.
Yeah.
3rd down for the Mountain Hawks. Yosha in the backfield with Shapniski. Blitz up the middle. Picked up. Shapniski. Incomplete. Had time to throw and just missed.
Coach, how much did you guys, out on the recruiting trail, after this game, did it help? I mean, were you like, obviously your interconference recruiting? Did kids actually say, "Hey, I saw the game at Yankee Stadium"? Did you guys push that type of thing either prior to this year or after that year?
I would say prior to this year, it was more of a help because guys knew that they would have the opportunity to play in this game. And afterwards, I don't think it was something that we pushed as much as what we did ahead of the game.
Right. But definitely there were kids that you were recruiting prior to this game. You're saying, hey, you're going to get an opportunity to do this. I mean,
yes, I think Brandon Bryant is one of those kids.
Yeah.
Well, I remember our visit. That was going to be the big game, like your senior year. That's the 150th game at Yankee Stadium. So, I mean, Ross, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean that was even a big selling point for us.
Yeah, definitely was.
So you guys knew that Yankee was going to happen for at least the 4 years that you guys were there. How long was that kind of?
Sure.
I mean, it definitely wasn't solidified, but they were. I guess it was in the works.
Well, there are other teams that tried this. I mean, remember Fordham tried to do it, I believe, with Holy Cross. Oh, there we go. Look at that freshman.
Was that his freshman year also?
Yeah, Sean's part of my class.
Watch this route, little wheel route. See that? The fact that he just goes up and
big target.
Amazing. Right? I mean, he's just tip iceberg for him. Such an incredible player. One quarter in the books.
Yeah, Matt was it's kind of like an eraser for you guys sometimes. You could have the perfect coverage on him, but put it up high and he would go up and make it right. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he reminded me a lot of Mark Ross.
He was probably a 70-30 guy. Like Mark was probably an 80-20 guy.
Yeah.
Meeting 150 in the South Bronx.
Yeah, that's such a big
Deshaun
body
Brown
and he
right
could
there?
jump.
Here's Deshaun Brown, who takes
and you don't know. I didn't really know until you actually stand next to him how big he really was.
Yeah.
And because he was such good friends with Wadsworth, and they used to hang so many times, and they were so much bigger than me, and obviously Zach, you too. But it was like, you don't realize how big they are and how good at athletes they were.
Yeah, I was roommates with Matt, Rocco, and Wad, so I was just the tiny one in the room, basically.
Okay.
There's that number 80, Coach.
BK. You talking about a guy that loved football. That guy loved football. He loved doing. You guys remember, like he also would go out there and play rugby. Did you guys ever know that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. No.
He was going out playing rugby and whatnot with.
Was he really?
He lived life to the fullest.
I know he was always out there playing like soccer and stuff like that.
Same play.
Elevate.
You can see every time the fullback touches
Brian
the
was
football in a play like that, gets lots of
special.
love.
I still have my interview with him, preseason interview that I keep. And every so often I'll watch it because he was the tight end guy that I interviewed. I still have it.
Dan is so skinny now.
Is he
Dan
real?
Delavade?
So skinny now.
I'd like to see him. I remember I recruited him out of Pittsburgh. And even then, like you're looking at him and you're like, you're the ideal fullback. You just want to run. You want to run into people.
I think he went to Moon High School.
Yeah, he went to Moon with Ben Janelle.
Yeah, him and Janelle came out of Moon.
Oh, they both, okay, yep.
But that's a catch that he will remember for the rest of his life.
Leopards touchdown drive last time they had it. Scheuerman finished it all.
I think Genoa's skinny now, right?
Yeah, Genoa's real
They're all
skinny.
skinny.
They're all
It's
skinny.
crazy how
skinny,
all
I
the
got
offensive
bigger.
linemen lose weight.
The Zanaveskis are skinny now too.
Yeah, all the
All
offensive
all the
linemen
big
just
guys
lose a
get
ton
small,
of weight.
and all the small guys get big.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You'll realize that. So we got a 3rd down and 9, Zach. 3rd down and 9.
So that they can be
Empty
aggressive in
set.
what they're doing. I think that they need to blitz the quarterback here and get after number 8 and try and force him into an error.
Here they come. Picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Zweizig hit as he throws.
What a ball.
I
I
remember
mean,
this.
That was a sweet play.
what a play.
Yes, it
And I
was.
thought he
What a
scored,
throw.
too. I thought Justin
Drop it
Reed
in.
got it.
28-yard pickup. Zweizig took the pop and delivered.
He got
And
crushed.
look at his hit.
Just ate it.
You took a nice hit there.
Yeah. I didn't realize you took that hit.
Oh, that hurts.
Well, a lot of people don't realize he took that hit, but all they see is
Yeah.
the end of the play. But
Senior Zach Zweizig doing a heck
Wow.
of a job so far in relief.
Guy, you
Talk about
gotta get in there. Come on.
talk about
Well,
being
just-
in the
He
zone.
wanted to get in there.
I love how you just laid there and kind of like watch it to see if he scored too.
Yeah.
Ross Scheuerman has it again.
I think this was, I don't know what the difference was, but this offensive line got better and better and better each week. Because I remember doing the inside the huddles and just talking about how the maturity of this offensive line and the fact that they were now spending 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks together. They got better every single week.
Yeah, I think the whole line was they were all seniors, except Stoddle. I think he was a sophomore. I think the other 4 were seniors. So
We lost
Right.
Luke
And then
though.
we lost Luke at we lost Luke at Harvard,
oh yeah, that's right.
and then we had to shuffle it around a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we moved. Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
moved
Skylar took the
Mazer.
place of Luke,
Or we
right?
moved Mazer out to tackle. I don't know when that was, because he was playing.
Couldn't have been a
center
better
for bit.
pass, Zach.
Yeah.
That could not have been a better pass.
Touchdown, Leopards.
You guys know how important it is when you play Lehigh. It's almost like you need to have that 2-touchdown lead. You just want to make sure that there's a little bit of cushion there. So getting a second score on them and going up 14-0, because they're famous for obviously trying to come back.
Something just felt different that day, though. Like everything was going our way. Even the year before that too. I don't know.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I don't care, but I was a little disappointed in the way they almost didn't show up for that game with the same enthusiasm. I don't know. I'm sure they were excited. I'm sure they were, but it didn't seem, when you got to game times, they're showing Deuce Gruden in there.
It's got the Raiders rolling right now.
How about it?
Can't believe they beat the Chiefs.
Oh,
They're killing me up there on air already.
we got a good defense. Solid pass rush.
Was that was the Chiefs Buffalo game at 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, who won
Yeah,
that?
it's on
Right?
right now. The Chiefs are winning.
The Chiefs were up 13-10. Here we go.
Then it's Cowboys Cardinals tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaking his way to near the 25 and now finally out of bounds at the 27.
I'm going back through my roster to see I said I know that's Draylon James. See Draylon James in there?
Yeah.
Draylon James.
Draylon James.
Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx among them.
I love the first one. I caught it on one of the many flights.
Now, where did you guys stay the night before? What hotel did you guys stay in? Or did you just come from school?
I think we stayed in the same hotel we did for the Fordham game.
Fordham?
Oh, yeah, that's right,
One of
we
the
did.
Marriotts around there, something
Yeah.
like that.
Was it down in Jersey City? Because I know I stayed in Jersey City.
Nah, it was in the. You probably know.
The White Plains area?
Was it up in White Plains?
I believe so.
Those are the first rushing yards of the game for Lehigh. It's Scheuerman, and he is immediately stopped by
You guys remember what the week leading up to? I mean, obviously, Lafayette Lehigh week is crazy on campus. But was it different this week, knowing, did you know a lot of people that came to the game? Did all of your friends have tickets? Were they all coming?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, I had people like classmates that were trying to get tickets. Obviously, being a freshman, it was way harder trying to get extra tickets. But I think the seniors, you guys had extra tickets, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we did.
Not sure.
Junior corner leads the way.
And because we were the home team, I think we got more
Yeah,
too.
we got it. Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Good job of breaking an arm tackle there. Listen to those pads popping, Carter. Some thumping going on down there. Here's a big third down. We talked about Shipniski being mobile.
Slant caught, first down. Lehigh converts.
So you seniors
Here, the freshman
lost the first two against Lehigh and then won the last two,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, they were good those first 2 years, man.
Ball into his hands. It's just a quick slant.
Freshman
I
and
like
sophomore
it.
year?
I would
Yeah,
like
our
to
freshman and
see
sophomore year, they were good. Our freshman year, they
Right.
were really good.
Get some tempo after a first
Yeah, and then
down.
sophomore
Yeah,
year,
they-
I think they finished what, like
Sophomore
10 and
year
1,
was good.
and they finished
Yeah.
like 10th in the country. And
Who
I
did
don't
they?
think they
Yeah,
made the
who
playoffs
did
that
they
year.
have? Our freshman year, they had that quarterback, Chris Lum. I think he was
Yeah, he was good.
Chris Lum was,
pretty
yep.
lights out. Or that receiver.
Well, this is
Dola.
Shapniski, who ended up, having a really nice career. This is his, he's a freshman. So,
Mhm.
and he's a local kid. He's from Whitehall High School, which is right down the road, Lafayette.
Yeah, his running back was Saquon Barkley at Whitehall.
Yeah.
He's really good friends
That's
with him.
correct. Yeah,
Must
I
be
did.
nice.
Gary and I probably did about 10 or 12 of Saquon's games. He's
Oh,
very
really?
close to the guy still at RCN. So anytime he's in the Valley, he gives us an interview. Really nice kid. And we, like I said, we probably did about 10 or 12 of his games.
Yeah, that's a tough injury that he had.
Keep your composure. That's a great run running through that defense. Now stay settled and get something going here.
Mark Dodd. I just saw Mark Dodd.
Chapniski on the roll, throws it back, incomplete. Contact downfield as Paris gets popped, but no flag. It
Yeah,
was
who'd they have? Troy Pelletier. This was his freshman year.
Yeah, I was rivals with him in my prep school. He was like our opposite out in Massachusetts. He was good out there.
Yeah, he turned out to be a really good player also.
This
on second,
game
back to the ground, Scheuerman.
was
In
a
there, 3rd and 9.
probably 2.5 years. 2.5 years it took.
Dodd in the
Like, I think the
preseason
announcement for this
Shane
game was
Black
on
get the stop.
around the Lehigh game in 2012. So when you guys were sophomores, that's when they announced that they were going to have this game. So, it went on through Bruce McCutcheon, and obviously Joe Sterrett came up with the idea. And it took over 2.5 years to put this thing together. So they deserve a lot of credit because nobody said we could do this. And I've been to Yankee Stadium so many times, and this was
On 3rd and
the
9,
ultimate.
Chapniski. Rolling out of the
Great
pocket,
defense, great
dances
coverage.
out of bounds at the 45.
It was one of the sub packages. You were probably
Yeah, I
up
was just going to
now.
ask you that, Coach. Was there anything special you did because of his running ability, or did you really not know him?
Yeah, we did. I think on that package there, we had Jared Roberts drop down as a spying the quarterback. So when he did scramble out, 3-man rush with
Okay.
the spy there to add up for the quarterback.
Was that similar to what you did this year with Marco,
Yes, it is.
or not really?
It is.
Because that was
It is.
phenomenal. That was phenomenal. And I was trying to get Marco excited, and he's such a cool character. It took Marco probably about a quarter to understand what that was, and then once he started to be more aggressive with it,
Yeah.
I mean, he
And the
you know,
Leopards back again after an 8-play drive.
Yeah,
but
Marco,
they get to the
he's going to be a really good football player for us. He's another
wow,
guy who
yeah,
loves to play
he's
football.
special. He is very, very special.
Just a run and hit type of guy.
There we go.
Lafayette alum right now as they have the lead. Joe
There's Joe.
Madden, I have to say, you better get used to this weather as you are moving from Tampa to Chicago.
Yes, so there we were right.
He
was going from Tampa, the Tampa Bay Rays to Chicago.
Really excited about the move, but yes,
I know he's done to hear what he's done for you guys as players, even for us as a coaching staff. He's taken care of us. We've had the opportunity to go out to Chicago, the Chicagoland showcase to recruit, and also pair that with going to a Cubs game, having the opportunity to go into the clubhouse at Wrigley Field. That was an experience I'll never forget. I tell you that. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah,
Going into Yankee Stadium and being in that clubhouse and then going into the clubhouse at Wrigley Field. I mean,
Hey, you guys are spoiled, Coach. You guys are spoiled, you Lafayette players. You guys got spoiled.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what he does for the school, just overall.
Come here as often, but maybe for a World Series. So good luck with that.
That'd be very nice. Thank you very much. Have a great
Well, the energy level's got to be high, guys. You're up 14-0 here. Chance to kind of really put the dagger in here before halftime. So it's so important. I remember Coach Devani always talking about, trying to finish the first half strong.
By the Chicago Cubs. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Jamie Erdahl from Yankee Stadium. The 150th meeting, just the second time it's been in a neutral site between Lehigh and Lafayette. Ross Scheuerman, first down carry across the 20.
Similar play. We've seen that play before.
Stretch to the boundary.
do you remember, Ross, what you averaged per carry here?
No.
Well, you got to remember. I mean, what'd you rush for this game?
304. I remember that.
I think it was 41 carries.
Yeah, 43 for 304.
So that's only 7 yards a carry, including this one, which was one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life.
I love this run.
And I love the call, too. Maybe Sherman's going after the FCS record.
They didn't catch me bust my you-know-what right there. The field
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
End.
Wow. I mean, you guys blessed, right? You're lucky. That's incredible.
Yeah,
what a run.
That was pretty cool.
What a play, too. And that was a newer kind of play at that time, that little kind of counter, handback type of thing, the down block, and you get those two loads coming around the corner. Yeah, shout out.
Shout out, Allen.
Just so you know, I don't know, none of you guys know, but this game is a part of one of our recruiting films, and so videos. So I've seen that run. I don't even know how many times during COVID, during.
And Ross Scheuerman starring in the Bronx.
What I love about the run too, Ross, is the fact that there aren't a lot of backs. I mean, the shake, the one step and go. It was like in full stride, that little left foot gone. It wasn't slow down, read the block.
Yes.
I mean, the one step.
Get the double.
This is what you look. Coach knows this. This is what you look for in a running back: is
full speed.
Can they make the full speed accelerated cut? And it's just over. Look at the blocking scheme. Look at that down, great hook, and then this cut right.
Justin set up a nice block there too. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I first went to Pittsburgh, the running back coach brought me in like alone. It was like one of the first days there. He's like, and he showed me this play. He's like, I need you to be this every day.
Is that right?
Have a chance. Yeah, pretty funny.
Well, you had a run like that in the NFLPA game, right?
Yeah.
If I remember, because I watched you in the NFLPA game, and the guy couldn't believe, he's like, Ross Scheuerman, Lafayette. Wow, he's got speed. It's like, read the card, buddy.
After that, I got a couple more touches than they probably wanted to give me after that, to be honest.
Grealish's kickoff. Taken by Kelsey, bobbles in
everything going wrong for the Mountain Hawks.
Kelsey manages to get back to the 12, and that is it. TCU, all it wanted last week. And
Coach, was your entire family at the game? Kids, everybody, were they all there?
Yes, my wife and kids were here at this game, along with my brothers and sisters showed up. I have a sister in South Carolina, sister who's moving to Germany now. She was there. I have a brother who just retired out of the Air Force. He's out in Colorado Springs. He was there. And my youngest brother is a policeman out in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He was there. And my best friend, John Lambert, who comes to pretty much every Lafayette Lehigh game, he flew in from Oregon. He was there. So.
Oh, my. Wow.
State hadn't won the first half of the ball game all season long, but they've never lost one in the second half. They're a team that finds a way.
Yeah, Smalley stuff.
Matt Smalley being physical there.
The first ever college football playoff.
We'll get back to that in a moment, but first 3rd and 3. Shapniski shaking his way to the 25. Flag down. That also means no.
And Brandon, your whole family was there too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Mom, dad, sister, everyone came out for there. It was a good time.
And you just told me before we started that your dad recently retired, huh?
Yeah, he was a law enforcement.
What he would give right now to just watch you one more game, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, he definitely loves being out
he
there.
was so involved. He's another guy. Every time I pulled in, we had a 15-minute. I said, Mr. Bryant, I have to go in and do the game. He wanted to stay outside and talk. He just wanted to talk football.
He definitely loved it.
I think he wants more than just the game. He would take the week because he comes and watch practice also. So.
Yeah, he definitely took advantage of it.
Yeah, an experience. And those are the things that they're going to remember, and those are the things that they're going to pass on, and you're going to pass on. I mean, those are – you never get that type of stuff back. Special. I played in game 120 through 123, and I played in the last game at Taylor Stadium before Goodman Stadium opened. And I remember my senior year, it was 17 below zero. And I'm sure you guys have heard the 17 below zero game. It was so cold that our middle linebacker was playing with oven mitts on. I'm not kidding you. He had oven mitts on his hands. That's how cold it was. And we ended up losing the game 17-10, but they tore the stadium apart while we were playing in the fourth quarter. They were pulling benches up. They took toilets out of the bathrooms. They tore down signs. The entire stadium was being completely ransacked while we were playing the game.
By like
and
fans.
That was the last game. I'm sorry?
By fans?
By the fans, yeah. So it was 10-10 in about the middle of the beginning of the fourth quarter. And we started looking up in the stands, and people were ripping out seats and signs, and everything was coming down. And you guys don't remember that, but that was the stadium used to be on campus, and I'm sure you guys have been on Lehigh's campus. They show Ross's run again, but and the next year they moved to Goodman. So those are the things that I remember. And I won 2 games too. I won my sophomore year and my freshman year and my junior year. That
offensive line has done a tremendous job creating some room for Ross Scheuerman to run.
Look at that.
Wow.
2:07 for
5
Scheuerman.
minutes.
Wow.
66 for Lehigh.
That's
wow.
First and 10 for the Leopards. This is Scheuerman in motion. Why not? Give him to it again. This time on the sweep. Raponte there.
Guys, tell me a little bit about Coach Devaney this week. What was he always like during Lafayette Lehigh? Was he a little
perimeter plays, which means plays to the outside edge of the field into the boundary?
What was Coach T? What was his message to you guys this week? How important was this game?
But when you're controlling the line of scrimmage as well,
I think he approached it the same as every other year for the most part. I mean, it was probably a little. I mean, obviously the stakes weren't as high this year as they were the year before. We were playing for the Patriot League championship, but I mean, obviously.
Right. Because the year before it was for the Patriot League championship.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, Drew Reed.
And they were
was
good
the
that year. They were like
so
8-2 that year, I think. But I mean, obviously, this is a huge. I mean, just for the school in general to win this game was massive. I think so. And the program. I mean, probably more than we realized at the moment. I know. Afterwards, like me and Zach were like going around with Coach T to different chapters and like speaking about the game, and it
Really?
honestly it carries you. And I mean, still people still ask about it now. I mean,
that is true.
6 years later, you don't realize how big of a game it was in the moment, but it was huge.
If Lehigh needed something good to happen, a defensive stop, it's Tim Newton, the defensive tackle, and now, after the play, here come some flags. If it is on Lehigh, it would be severely costly.
Did you guys know about the uniforms? What did you find out about the uniforms?
Yeah, the gunmetal uniforms, right?
Yeah.
Right when we walked in the locker room on game day.
Yeah, I
On
think
game
so.
day.
Did they come from, I guess the story was that they came from Tom Kirchhoff?
Yep.
Or was he involved in, Tommy Kirchhoff was involved in that? He was our quarterback when I was coaching.
Yeah, and to touch on that, I remember like that was probably one of the most like touching moments for me in my career, just being in the locker room with him beforehand and before that game. I guess Coach D had read a speech that he wrote. I mean, I can't even describe it. It was just gave you chills down the back of your neck.
Yeah, for sure. His whole family was in there as well.
Yeah, everybody's in there. That was a really cool moment for the program.
I mean, I think that is what Coach Tavani did for that game to get us fired up, to get the players fired up. It was one of those deals where when they saw the uniforms, when he read the speech, there was nothing else that needed to be said. It was just, let's go play.
Yeah, at that point, it was tough not to.
So the first time you guys saw the uniforms was that day?
Yeah, right. That morning we walked in the locker room.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I know that.
I don't know if we've ever worn. Have we worn them since, Coach? I don't think we've ever worn them since, have we?
I think we wore the tops. I don't know if we wore the whole uniform together.
Oh boy.
He's got it inside the 20, inside the 10. Now we check the flags.
But I think for Coach Tavani, it was the different things he was going to do to surprise the players before the Lafayette Lehigh game. I know it was emotional going into the week, the last hit ceremony, the different things that kind of happened there. And there was not a lot to be said. I mean, every year you play Lehigh. No one needs to fire anyone up for that game. Let's go.
Right here. Keep your eye on the second player inside of number 8.
Hell, if we can't do anything else this year, that's the one. Let's just go. Let's meet in the field somewhere and let's get it going.
Right. Yeah.
As a blocker out on the edge, you have to be able to keep your hands inside. And that time, DePietro didn't do it and got called for it.
Sherman on second down and long. Gets to the 36, so it's back to around the original line of scrimmage. Third down coming up, and at least giving the Leopards a chance with 3 minutes before the half.
And they're just running that counter into the boundary, trying to capture the outside into the perimeter. And Lehigh that
just saw that he just had a little boy
running underneath and paying for it dearly. But again,
awesome.
If you're Lehigh, you've done a good job on the last third down until after the play.
He's out in Philly right
so
now.
You guys obviously, like Zach, you know where Ross is. You guys know where Brandon is. Do you keep in touch with some of the other guys? Who do you keep in touch with, like on a weekly?
Yeah, so I'm in Philly. So like Mark Ross lives a couple blocks from me. Matt Smalley, Demetrius Dixon.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like Brandon, you were over the other weekend.
Yeah, Phil just moved out there.
I was on a run this morning or earlier today. Jamel Smith drove by me. He was beeping at me. I was like, Jamel?
What a throwback.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I think he was only with us, 1 year, 2 years?
1 year.
It was just his
freshman year. Yeah.
That's nice. You guys can keep in touch. And
yeah.
Is Mark Ross? Did I hear a rumor he was getting married?
Yeah, he got married. A girl
He got married.
She played field hockey. Amy Smith.
Okay. Do they have any children, or are they just?
No, I think they got married last year, and they just bought a house in Northern Liberty, so not too far from there. But yeah, they're doing well. And then
So he's
last
on
weekend,
this side of the Pennsylvania because he's a Pittsburgh guy.
yeah, and then last weekend, Dion King came over, Mike Bowles, I think a couple other, Shane Brady. They all came over to Mark's place, and we were just hanging out. That was nice to see all of them.
Where your quarterback
Nice.
can use his legs to get him outside the pocket, move his release point, do something, run some bubble screens.
Brandon, you said you had a chance to talk to some of the other guys. You saw Mrazek and those guys.
Yeah, I
You keep
still
in touch
speak with
them,
Mrazek,
Rods and them.
yeah, Rocco, Mrazek, JJ Khan, all those guys, TJ, Nick Franzese. There, a lot of guys are in close areas, so like
Right.
Lobadev, TJ, Tamir Jones, and Franzese live up in Hoboken now.
Okay. Well, Francis is from Central Jersey, right? I remember he went to. I think he went to like Scotch Plains or something.
Lehigh folks are upset still, but
If I remember correctly. Ridge. I think he went to Ridge High School.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
For me, that's north. I'm deep south Cherry Hill, so.
my understanding is that there is not an official breed. This is my understanding. I may get it wrong.
I like the kid Malik.
Yeah, how about it?
He's a monster.
Special player. Coach, I still don't know how you guys got him. But that kid, and he's a better person than he is a player. Let me tell you that. He's just a special kid. He really is. I had him on for last week for the 155 game, and I thought, well, you know what? It's going to be hard to get Malik to talk. It was not.
Yeah.
He almost carried the show. He was so good.
Yes, Malik is. I mean, you said it. You hit the nail on the head. But he's a better person than he is football player.
Yeah.
He's been one hell of a football player.
Yeah.
But Gunnar Twiner was the one who found him and recruited him. And the thing I can tell
Right,
you,
Gunnar.
this past year, being at Georgetown, Coach Scarlatta is still upset that he was able to get out of
That
Baltimore.
he lost him out of
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leaning, he appears to be short. Pierce Raponte, the
Wouldn't mind playing with him.
linebacker, stops Zweizig on fourth down, and Lehigh gets the football with 1:55.
Zach, 4th and 5 there. We were going for it. Coach T wanted to go for it.
Yeah, I tried another spin. Didn't work out like last time. That hurt. I remember that one.
Right to the hip.
Yeah, right to the hip.
Interesting parts about the new Yankee Stadium opening up.
Now, Brandon, you said that you got, as the game progressed, when they had to throw the ball more, that package was used more, right?
Yeah, as the game kind of progressed, I started getting him.
Yeah, like this play. Oh, my.
Chris Brockman.
Oh,
Chris, come in.
damn.
Wow. I guess they were turning the protection back or something, Coach.
Yeah, well, we put 3 guys up there with Mark Dodd, and so we're able to get them to slide to the field there and be able to bring some pressure off the weak side.
Yeah, you did that repeatedly, I think, from this point. You had the show, and then some you had the linebackers come and the D linemen drop.
Yes,
right?
we
I mean,
did.
there were the 3 D linemen would come out, almost like a zone blitz scheme.
Yeah, I remember they had some really good receivers, and one of the
Really
issues
interesting.
with them was just to get the ball into their hands, and so they ran a lot of mesh routes, mesh concepts, and so we wanted to try to drop those defensive linemen and get them in the throwing lanes. And
yeah. Well, a guy like Troy Pelletier had to scare you. I mean, he was a terrific player.
yeah,
But then, they'd have 1 positive play and then 2 negative plays. Looks like my Jets.
That's more 1 and then 3.
It's been awful.
Off the football and lost it. Shodike did a good job of recovering it. But Lafayette all day long, Carter, has been so impressive on the defensive side of the ball.
Was there anybody, Brandon, that you kind of patterned your game after? Like any linebacker that you saw coming in when you were a freshman that you wanted to, this is the guy that I want to kind of pattern my game? Who helped you out the most?
That was on the team, you mean?
Yeah, maybe that was on the team, and maybe that, that helped you out to become, obviously a better linebacker. Because you were you were a pure downhill linebacker. You would agree with that. And then obviously you had to learn to drop and get into zones, and then everything started to mesh.
Yeah, I definitely started out as a big see-ball, get-ball kind of guy, just wherever the football was at, just kind of find a way to get there. I think as I got older, I kind of learned the way the scheme was meant to work and how I was supposed to fit into it. I would say Brockman definitely was a guy. Brockman and Dodd definitely took me under their wings being young.
Right.
And I was still playing with them the following years. They kind of helped me from like a mental standpoint, figuring out the game and stuff.
My guess is they're going to try to run him, but again, on a 1st and 10 situation, maybe you try and catch those safeties peeking in the backfield that are so concerned about the run and take a deep play action shot here.
Coach Link was the linebacker coach that year, correct? He coached the linebackers. And who's the D-line coach?
Ian Dale.
Yeah.
Ian Dell,
Yeah.
who was a great player in his own right.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Brandon leaks in coverage.
That's right, Ian.
Now Ross Scheuerman with 195 rushing yards.
Not a bad half, Ross.
For a career high.
Talked about it at the beginning of the show, wanted to be able to make your mark in history.
I mean, you had 200 yard. You had another 200-yard game that year, didn't you? Against, was it Fordham, if I remember, or no?
No, I did not.
You did. I thought you had another 200.
Might have had like 180 or something, but
yeah.
Out in that flat. Let's see if they go back to that here.
Sherman 2nd and 10. Another first down. Over 200 rushing yards in the first half.
My
for the
goodness.
senior from Cream Ridge, New Jersey, just south of Allentown. 35 seconds. Lafayette still has 2 timeouts, and now they will use 1.
Carter, in a normal 2-minute situation, you don't want to run the football because you're going to eat up too much of the
So Ross,
clock.
when did you stop playing? What was your last? When was the last time you played?
So I ended the season in 2017 with the Tiger Cats up in the CFL.
Right.
Then I came back and I went to rookie minicamp with the Seahawks in 2018.
Right.
And they actually, that whole weekend they tried me out in the slot.
Oh.
So so I was that whole weekend. It was like a Friday through Sunday practice period. I was in the slot playing. I actually had a pretty good relationship with the scout there, the Northeast scout, Todd Bruner. He lives in the town over from me that I grew up in. He was a Lehigh quarterback too, Todd Bruner.
Yeah, Todd played when I was coaching. Yeah, I remember Todd.
So he kind of like put a word in for me over there and got me a tryout. But that was the last. They obviously didn't end up signing me, so that was it. Hung it up from there.
You did play with, I guess, a former Lafayette coach now, Taekwon Underwood.
Yeah, Ty, he was awesome, man. He's one of the best. He's one of the best dudes I ever met. Like,
yes,
I've come across in the game. Like, just like playing with him, a locker room guy. Like, he just brought everybody together. He was just such a cool, calm, collected dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, he grew up.
I used to text Taekwon.
Yeah.
I used to text Taekwon before the games and say good luck. Like, you guys would be in the hotel in wherever up in Hoboken, and I text him, and he would immediately text me back. Oh man, thank you so much. I know you're behind the program, and we're gonna win this one. I mean, I'm like, you didn't have to even get back to me. You would text me back.
He was so positive and so encouraging. Like, and I remember when I grew up, like in high school, like he went to a private Catholic high school in Notre Dame. but we always played them, and they were, you know, one of the better teams in the area. And he was like one of those guys you always looked up to growing up when I was younger. And then I finally got a chance to play with him. And then obviously he went to Rutgers. I watched him there, like always looked up to him, and got to play with him in the CFL, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
You know, especially
So,
the backing that he has as far as playing at Rutgers, going to the NFL and playing and having some success in the NFL, to when he got here to coach here. I mean, nothing ever swayed him. I don't think Taekwon saw a bad day. I mean, it was just one of the most positive people that I've ever met or been around. So,
how about this play?
Yeah, we had this. Yeah, I remember this play.
And he caught that?
Josh Davis.
It was like a flea flicker play. Josh
you threw it to who? You threw it to Josh.
I threw it to Josh Davis, and then Josh Davis threw it to Matt?
No, he threw it to me.
Oh, threw it to you.
And then I had Keller coming underneath me, who I was supposed to like lateral it to.
It worked in practice.
It worked. It honestly worked.
So it was a throw to the side, and then a throw down to Ross, and then Ross waited for Keller to come across.
For Keller to come across to me, flipped it to him.
Offense, number 80, grabbing the face mask.
They called Brian Keller for a face mask.
Result of play is the end of the first half.
Wow.
It was a good 6-yard, just complete stiff arm.
How about that, guys? Running off. Where I remember correctly, most of our fans were behind our bench and obviously going into the locker room there.
My name is Anika Perry, and I'm a senior captain.
I'm Lainey. I'm a senior captain.
Hey everyone, I'm Kat, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a co-captain, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Kara. I'm a junior and a junior captain on the team.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Ellie, and I'm a junior.
I'm Kat, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Bella, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Devin Croak, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Elena, and I'm a freshman. I'm Lydia, and I'm a freshman.
Get ready, get set, go. Break you out and make them follow you. Screaming out like no tomorrow. Head high, no stopping, this is your life. Break you out, don't hesitate to make them follow you. Screaming out, they scream your name like no tomorrow. Your head high, your head high.
Didn't we have more fans there? I think it was like maybe like 70-30 or 60-40 just because we were the home team. We got more tickets.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the game, I can't remember. What time did the game start? Was it a 3 o'clock, 3:30?
No,
was it a 3:30 kickoff?
No, it was like 3:30.
Was it
Yeah.
I think it was like a 3:30, 4 o'clock start. You guys don't even remember.
No, it was 3:30.
Yeah. I think it was a 3. I think.
So that the offense can do something with it.
Shonake takes it from inside the 5, gets across the 25, flags down.
3:30. I think it was 3:30. John Sabino's telling me 3:30. If I remember correctly, that I think this drive for Lehigh might have been their best drive of the day, and they still had to punt the football, really deflating for them. I think they put together 8, 9 plays, might have been an 8 or 9 play drive that went like for 25 yards. So it was like they just were spinning their wheels.
Brought to you by Sonic. Nick Shapniski, 44 passing yards. 30 of them were on the first play for Lehigh.
And he's gained 21 yards on the ground. He's lost some plays because of
a lot of my former high school teammates ended up in the Patriot League as well, and one of them was a senior this year in this game.
On the first play of the second half from scrimmage, Shapniski
Was a senior for and played for who?
For Lehigh, yeah. Number 29.
Lehigh?
Yeah, number 29, Isaiah Campbell.
Okay.
South, meaning running vertically straight downfield, he goes laterally, which allowed Lafayette's defense to respond, but still a nice pickup there on first down.
Chris Brockman, the junior, second leading tackler, makes the stop. Second.
What did the guys think of the pinstripe jerseys?
I did not like
Terrible.
them.
Terrible, right?
I'm so glad we didn't do something like that.
I feel like a team, whoever plays there always tries to do it, and it never works.
Chesniewski out of the pocket again. This time gets more north-south near.
Yeah, that
the
was.
first down marker. Looks like he has
I didn't like that either.
Jared Roberts finally makes
Pinstripes and brown don't
Tough
go
to make
together.
Brown look good either way, but throw the
I had a couple
pinstripes in
friends that
there.
played for Lehigh at this game, and they even said they didn't like it.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
handing it off. Showdike stretches to the outside.
Well, that season was kind of somewhat of an up and down kind of season. I mean, you guys opened up against Sacred Heart, a team that we now play more often, and really couldn't get much offense going in that game. But then all of a sudden you go to play Robert Morris, and we score 50 points. You guys remember that type of thing? I mean, 50 points, which was an incredible game, which I think was a home game for us, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then we come back and play William and Mary, and we're kind of in the game, but not really in the game. So, at one point in time, it was just kind of a back and forth, like win one, lose one type of thing. And then you go to Wagner, and we play the night game at Wagner, and we finished that game so strong. I remember, I think Drew Reed had a really nice game that game, and ended up, beating them like, I think 35-20 or something like that. Then we come right back against Fordham, and again we struggle defensively, and we end up losing to Fordham, but then we come right back against Georgetown and win. So it was like just a roller coaster of a season. Then kind of hit the skids against Harvard. Harvard was always good back then. You guys know, I'm looking at the Holy Cross, and then and we lose the game. You guys remember the Bucknell, the overtime game against Bucknell?
That was the most insane game.
Right? 24-24, and we end up losing the game. I think that was at Bucknell, right?
Yeah, the guy had
in overtime.
The guy had got injured on their team, and he kind of almost gave him life again.
Yeah. Oh, right. Naylor.
Yeah.
Robert Naylor, I think, was the guy who had the neck injury.
The neck injury, yeah.
Right. And then we go to Colgate, and we win the Colgate game. So.
The corner cat off the outside by Smalley. Just a good aggressive
corner blitz, coach. Gotta love corner blitz.
Corner blitz. Not sure how much we called it that year.
Low snap, could have thrown the timing off a little bit, but with nowhere to go.
I know we played a lot of cover sits and wrote him down to be a cloud corner into the boundary, so that was
into the boundary, right? Well, he became somewhat of a boundary corner, right?
Oh yes, he was a boundary corner.
Right.
He was one of those guys where we could just lock him up and man cover the boundary. Big play, big hit, Chris.
That was a fumble too. Nowadays, you get called for targeting on that.
No, that was clean.
It looked clean to me.
Right on the ball.
Anthony Loyacona recovers.
Loyacona.
Lafayette once again making its felt.
Anthony Loyacona, right?
I mean, Brockman leveled.
Coach, nowadays, you saw obviously Dak get hurt the other day. The tackling just seems to be odd to me. The grabbing and using your own body weight to kind of pull down on guys. It just seems like maybe the players offensively are bigger, and really for the smaller DBs or whatever, it's really difficult for them to get them on the ground. So you see a lot of guys tackle.
To see Lehigh play Lafayette.
weight to kind of bring guys down. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's just tackling now and the way the game is being played is a lot more difficult than what it used to. A lot of it is for the player safety, as far as we're trying to keep their heads out of it. What we talk about is a lot of near foot, near shoulder, same side tackling, so we're not putting the head across the body. And so when you don't put the head across the body, back in the day, you could put your head across the body and playing a guy like Dak, he could trip over you. Now, you know, if you don't hit him hit him low enough, I mean, these guys are so big and strong that you have to just grab them.
Yeah, that's my point.
So I think with Dak is an unfortunate injury. The thing about his is it kind of got caught up under bodies as you see it, but I think with what we're doing and the way that officials are calling games, it's best for the players, it's best for everybody. We want to keep the head out of it and try not to have some of these big hits that we kind of grew up watching the game, seeing.
It's Demetrius Dixon, the senior, who makes
nice side pocket throw there, Zach.
Zach, Demetrius.
Yeah, overthrew Ross earlier, so finally hit that one.
That was just a high-low on the corner, right? High-low.
Yeah, he kind of sat there. I think it was probably cover 2, maybe. So he was just kind of sitting in the hole there.
Boundary
shot. I do remember I hit my hand
very quietly on top of his helmet.
Yeah, I remember it was bleeding pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. No excuse though.
Play fake. Zweizig scrambling.
Now, is that supposed to be the throwback again, the wheel route to Ross?
I think so, yeah.
Like
First and 10.
I think they covered it up pretty nicely.
And maybe a sack. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And there's your 2 injured quarterbacks. Drew Reed, the sophomore. Blake Searfoss, another sophomore.
There they are.
Good shot of the 2 quarterbacks on the sideline.
In their feet. So those are the 2 guys who've gone back and forth quarterbacking Lafayette.
So who's your backup?
Crutches, meaning Zach Zweizig.
The what?
Who's your backup in this game?
Josh Davis.
Okay. That's right.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
Sunshine. California Flash.
Didn't Drew and Blake have the same injury?
Yep, they both broke their foot. I think different feet too.
Yeah, it was like the opposite feet, but the same injury in the other foot.
They both said that it was meant to be that.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
It's weird.
Rigo and Lob combine on the head on Zweizig.
And especially Blake's foot, because that happened on Wednesday's practice, and remember coaches would watch the film and nothing happened. He just rolled out.
So how many practices, how many snaps did you literally take between Wednesday and Saturday?
Well, I remember it happened Wednesday late at practice, and then they were like, Blake rolled out, and then Coach Vaughn was like, Zach, you're in. I go in, get my normal second team reps, and then we went to 2-minute drill, and they were like, Zach, you got it. I was like, yeah, okay. So finished 2-minute drill. We're in stretching lines, and that's when Coach T came up to me and was like, hey, Zach, Blake broke his foot. You're starting. And he walked away. I was like, like what?
Sounds about right.
That's
that's about right. I was like, Coach T, wait a minute. Hold on. Come back. Explain this to me.
So what would, I mean, your reaction obviously was a little bit of shock. But at the same time, you were...
I almost didn't come back senior year to play. I was going to be like a player coach or more like a coach.
That was the word.
And then Coach T convinced me to come back. And then I lost my grandfather going into that summer, so going into my senior year. So I was like, yeah, I'll just play, be third string. So I was expecting not to play at all this season. But yeah. Things work out, I guess.
Yeah, yep. The stars started to
Thursday's
align.
practice was more like a walkthrough, or not a walkthrough, but
Thursday's like helmets or shots.
yeah. So that was like the only real practice I had, and then walkthrough on Friday, then game Saturday.
Rally here in meeting number 150.
Right.
Needs to start soon.
Well, Lehigh's trying something here.
A bunch set down here at the bottom. That can clear the box out and leave some room to run.
That's exactly what Shapniski does, but Lafayette was ready for it, as they have been all game long. Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Makes the stop.
Offensive coordinator.
He had a bad ankle injury, didn't he, Coach, at some point in time, his junior or senior year, I remember?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember what the injury was, but he did have a bad.
I thought it was an ankle.
He had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Near the first down. That's
I mean, he was a guy that just would throw his body in there, and regardless of who it was.
Yeah.
He was like a missile.
Yes.
He was like a missile. What did you see, Coach, in Phil Parham that made you want him on the field? Was he just so athletic? Because obviously his senior year, he led the league. He was an All-American. I mean, again, one of the nicest, greatest, humblest type of kids.
Phil Parham, I think, more so than anything, he was a big surprise right now as a freshman coming in. From an athletic standpoint, his transitions was what separated him. He was so cat quick, and so when he put his foot in the ground to transition to make plays on the ball, I mean, he did it throughout practice and throughout camp that year. You saw him making plays on deep outs, deep comebacks.
Right.
Mentally, his mind, I think, is another part that just separated him. He was able to pick up what we were asking him to do. Phil's a no-nonsense type of guy. He doesn't ask a lot of questions. He doesn't say a whole bunch. And so sitting in meetings, you would install and then kind of ask him, Phil, do you get it? And he would smile and say, yep. And just let him go out and play.
Well, I remember in the Harvard game, he had that nice pick on the split screen and ran it in. And then I'm like, yeah, this kid might be a difference maker.
Yeah.
And he, again, just got better and better and better.
Yes.
And Brandon, it looks like you guys are a little bit more in that nickel kind of look right now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Especially with the score that we have right now, they're heavy passing right now.
Yeah.
When you talk about two schools who are separated by just over 10 miles, both strong engineering programs, liberal arts schools in the Lehigh Valley, there's going to be some common cause in recruiting between these two. The staffs cross paths a lot on the recruiting trail. So a lot of these guys on both sides were recruited by both.
Coach, I just saw Phil Halloran. Is that right? Was that his name? Coach Halloran?
Yes, Phil Halloran.
Is he still coaching?
He's not. He isn't. He's here in the Lehigh Valley in Easton.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yes, he is. And he's working with Draylon James and those guys at
ADP.
Centos.
Oh, okay.
But they bring him from both sides. Dodd misses him, but his
Is that Chris Brockman again?
That is Brockman again.
He had a great game.
Dodd and then Brockman.
Does a good job of staying alive and bring Shapniski to the ground. This is what
Dodd
needs to do defensively. Lafayette is doing a good job of dialing up pressure, winning.
What happened?
He missed it. He missed his shot there.
But Lehigh's really struggling here tonight on third down.
Austin Devine.
I believe Phil Hallahan is about to have his second child.
Bounds at the 35, scooped up there by Roberts.
Going
to call him down right around the 31-yard line.
Yard.
Roberts really just do that?
Beginnings of football have changed.
Did he? I think I'm gonna call him after this game and get on him about that. Like, did he really just
stop fielding that punt?
Yes.
You go back to it was actually here in New York City in 1873 at the Fifth Avenue Hotel.
Yeah, JR actually he tore his ACL. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Recently?
Yeah, so Matt Smalley and JR asked me to play football in a league in Jersey, so I went to play, and JR's his brother was playing, and Jared was on the sideline. He said he tore his ACL. Actually, I think playing in the league.
Oh my goodness.
I think he has a kid now, so it seems like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. You guys had a little bit of a lull here. I mean, there were a couple of possessions where I don't know if Lehigh made a huge adjustments or anything, but it almost seemed like we kind of fell asleep for a couple of possessions. Because Lehigh, I guess, is going to come back here and cut this lead. I mean, they actually cut it in 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a third down. Here.
Maybe we got got a little relaxed, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like the same things that were working. I don't know what about the adjustments they made, but
Zweizig incomplete this time to force the punt, 3 and out. So, speaking of Boston College, Aaron, you talked about the emotions before your final game with the Irish against Boston College. What were the emotions like at the end of that game?
Let's just say that the Boston College game both began and ended with tears because we lost to them.
Remember, our punter was Ryan Forrester, right? I think Ryan was the punter, right? From Maryland.
Right. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. He was really good.
And even though we ended with the same record and we won the head-to-head matchup, they awarded Florida State
got some good punters.
After the first 3 and out, going to say it is Lehigh football at the 29. No fumble there on the return by Paris. Mountain Hawks get it again. Still a 0 on the scoreboard. Over on the punt because of the inadvertent whistle with 2 seconds back.
Oh, they made us punt it again. I remember that. And Ryan got off a bomb.
Gets it away. Much better punt. Paris takes it, bobbles it. Now slips away. Paris wrapped up inside the 23, so it's another advantage for the Leopards.
That was a really nice freshman class. That was a really nice freshman class. You look back on those guys, obviously Brandon we have with us, but Phil Parham and Sean, I mean, that was a really nice looking class. Mrazek, Wads. I mean, that certain classes just stand out, and that was
Lafayette, ally of
that was one of them.
Washington, hero of both the American and French revolutions. Shortly after visiting the Lehigh Valley, Lafayette College was named after General Lafayette.
Cliff Clavin doesn't have nothing on you.
Chef Niski tucks it, scrambles. Room to run this time, out of bounds.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was a little bit of a lull, a little bit of relaxing. Just around this point.
I like the play call of a pass on first down, but I'd prefer short to intermediate routes. You don't need to score home run shots every single time. You just need to almost look at it like a 2-minute drill and just keep the chains moving.
Oh boy,
I remember this.
Down the sideline,
yeah.
Lee with the biggest play of the day for the
just got caught inside, I think.
Yeah, I remember after this we were like woke up a little bit. Like, all right, we got to start putting this game away.
Right. Yeah, like I said, that 2-touchdown lead. I mean, one more mistake, one more touchdown just gets this game way too close for comfort. Chris Lee, 70. That's a 70-yard run.
Little things like that can make a big difference.
That's another one. We were not a big cover 6 team, and we were playing it in this game, and they kind of called us with Shane Black running the alley and Matt Smalley called up on the receiver there, so he didn't have leverage to see it to make a play.
Get a good look at it right here.
Yeah.
Using the perimeter in the boundary to get to the outside, a good block.
Yeah, Matt just gets a little bit out leveraged.
And then it's all speed. It's all Chris Lee kicking it into gear and get to the outside. A poor angle also that time by a pretty good tackler, and Shane Black for Lafayette meant that there was nobody home
I think it could have been press quarters there.
What was Coach T's message at halftime to you guys? Was it just kind of stay focused, or was he out of control? Do you remember anything about that, about the halftime speech when you guys came back out?
I don't remember. Maybe you guys do.
Not really.
I was in the training room getting stretched. I don't remember.
Were you getting stretched?
Yeah, I was pretty sore by halftime, not going to lie.
I was probably hooked up to the IV or something.
Yeah.
Or were you just your overall body, your legs, your arms?
Yeah, it was my neck. I think.
Played,
I mean,
right?
I haven't been hit in over a year, so the first couple of hits I took, my neck was pretty sore. So I think they were doing a couple stretches for that. I think my hip was. I don't know if it was from that one hit.
I remember the hip. Yeah.
But
Sherman is
good
back
times.
as a returner for Lafayette. The bounce is handled by Matt Smalley.
I remember this. Yep. This was a monster play. Just to get that momentum back.
Yeah.
And Coach, you were the special teams coordinator, right?
Yes. Yes, I didn't do a whole bunch there. I had 2 really good returners. It was kind of like, hey, get those guys the ball and let them do what they do.
Yeah,
and I think earlier in the year, Matt,
Poison, who you want to take
didn't
it
Matt
to?
take one back? Did Matt take one back for a touchdown?
Wasn't that the season opener?
I took one. Yeah, I took one back against Sacred Heart in the season opener.
Oh, that was you,
The
yeah.
opening, yeah.
And then the following year, Smalley took one back the season opener.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, yeah, you had 2 pretty good guys back there, Coach.
Yeah.
As long as you don't mess them up, you get out of the way, right?
Yeah, I take credit for all these yards that Ross got in the first half or in this game. It was because of what I was teaching him on special teams.
Yeah, right.
Well, it looks like you guys kind of went back to work here on the left side of the offensive line again.
Right back to the boundary.
Carter, Lehigh has not been able
236.
to weak side counter into the boundary yet.
I don't know what it is about Lehigh, but we've always had runs that just churn it out. When I was playing, we had guys that just Bruce McIntyre, like 100-yard games, 200, 220, 251, 286. Whenever we've run the ball well against Lehigh, we've obviously had success. And that was the same this year with Selwyn. Selwyn and Sutton and Gay. I talked to Coach Gay last week about that. I said, it's such a credit to you guys to be able to use all 3 of those backs the same way, because when you run the ball well against Lehigh, good things happen.
Yeah.
And Selwyn's that same type of back, maybe not have obviously the speed that Ross has, but
Zweizig pumps on 3rd and 4.
a good throw there, Zach.
First down, Leopards. It's Demetrius Dixon, the senior.
And didn't Demetrius, didn't he have the monster play the year before?
Yeah,
The big screen, right? That he
took
caught
the bubble for a
bubble.
touchdown.
Right, which was an unbelievable play. That was Demetrius, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dixon on the sideline, 1st and 10 for the Leopards from the Lehigh 21 after a 60-yard kickoff return set up.
Was that his ACL?
Sherman is
What he did there?
Demetrius? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
the sophomore from Almonte
Was it?
Springs,
I don't know.
Florida. Started
I don't
since he
remember.
was a freshman. He's a playmaker.
Yeah, keep your eye on Colton.
No, I think he comes back in the game, doesn't he?
He's just going to come down and fill inside.
I think he does come back, though.
Yeah, I think he does.
Did something more serious.
I think Sherman just gets back to the
Skyler.
The linebackers, Ross, started to be a little bit more active in the second half, kind of coming downhill.
Snap Sherman. He'll take it on
There we go.
2nd and 10. Blockers ahead. Sherman dives to the 15. Olivier Rigo, the sophomore corner there on the stop. Tonight's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. 2 trips, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, I'm trying to think what happens on this drive.
He has all 3 touchdowns.
I feel like we don't score,
I know what
but
happened.
We don't. Yeah, I think we go for it.
we go for it or miss a field goal.
I think it's a 3rd down. Right now, it's going to be a 3rd down and 4. The first
No,
play
we
of
missed
the
a field
fourth
goal.
quarter. Well, your kicker that year was Ryan Graylish, who didn't get a lot of chance to kick. I mean, he didn't have a lot of attempts.
Today's Chick-fil-A
And I think he was hurt during the season at some point as well.
Yeah, it was Tom.
Yeah, Tom kicked the game winner 2 weeks before at Colgate.
Yeah, 2 weeks before.
Because then we had the bye week.
I think that was the only year
Ryan was hurt.
I think that was the only year he played. I think he transferred after that.
Yeah.
Tom Martin.
Tom Martin,
yeah.
Apparently, Lafayette won the mascot run as well. There is no trophy in the game, but I guess for the mascot run, you get a trophy. We go to the fourth quarter, 21-7. Lehigh finally on the board to make this a game headed to the fourth.
I think Lehigh's been too conservative in this ball game on the defensive side of the football. They need to get after it because there's 48,256.
If I remember at this point, it started to get a bit cold. I remember.
And I think that the Lehigh Mountain Hawks,
sun going down, Yankee Stadium, a Saturday night in November.
chances to dial up some pressure.
Have you guys been back to Yankee Stadium for a game since then?
Yeah, I actually went last year. I was at the Yankees Twins ALDS game. That was my only time I went back. And I'm not a Yankees fan, but I was like, yeah, let me go back to see it.
Relive the glory days.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cold just like that night. I think the game went like 4.5 hours.
Is that right?
There's some hand fighting on there, but that's allowed. But just gets his hand up and knocks the football away. Prior to that, the defensive back
is that Vangelis number 2?
Yeah, it's
soft in their coverage, but not that time, and it paid off.
So here's
Brandon, you hang out with Timmy, right?
Yeah, I hang out with him all the time. I'm actually going up there probably for Halloween weekend. He's over in Long Beach. Yeah, he's out in Long Beach.
He was a year as the missed field goal by Graylish. And if I remember correctly, Coach T was really very good.
Yeah, sure.
Never known it, though.
He was always angry a lot of the time.
A lot more erratic and a lot more severe. A big stop on third down by the defense.
It looked like it got tipped.
That just simply didn't have a chance by Graylish, and Lehigh is in really
good pressure up the middle there.
The football on the 20-yard line to get themselves.
Boy, Zach, you look so young. Look at you.
Look
at that.
33-yard attempt. So now Nick Chapniski, the sophomore QB, after Lehigh gets another blocked kick. Kick was low and wouldn't have been good anyway, but it was officially blocked. Off the edge, huge blitz pickup by Chris Lee. Chapniski gets away across the 25, across the 30. Chris Lee, who had the 70-yard touchdown with a
you could definitely feel the momentum swing right here. I remember standing on the sideline. I was starting to feel a little nervous about it.
Yeah, I remember that too. I was getting a little tough.
Yeah, because the score at this point in time is huge for them. There's Brandon. It's Brandon Bryant time. Get a little quicker, a little quickness on the field right now.
I think Lehigh needs to be able to hit some tempo and keep Lafayette off balance.
Brandon Bryant has the first down tackle.
How's your knee? Back to normal, no problems?
Yeah, I mean, had senior year, a little achy after each game, but pretty much since I've been done, I've been pretty good playing basketball, working out.
You think you came back too quick?
I definitely came back probably faster than maybe I should have, but that was the only timeline that would have allowed me to kind of play my senior year.
Right. No, I remember. And then I thought there was, when you were a senior, I thought there was a game or even a play that maybe it was against Colgate, I don't know, but where you were kind of like, I don't know if it's right, and then all of a sudden you made a play, you were like, you just freed up. Is that true?
Yeah, so early, it was at the beginning of the season. I think it was.
Make up some of this lost yardage they had on first down and getting a third manager.
It wasn't Monmouth. It was maybe the second game of the year.
Yeah.
I kind of I think I had to make a cut, and like maybe somebody hit me, and I almost had a heart attack, and then I was like, okay, like I'm okay. Like just kind of like just go. If it happens, it happens.
Sometimes, and I just remember, because I remember being in the booth saying, I think he understands now that he's okay, and that he can now go 50 miles an hour instead of 85 miles, and you could almost see it in your game.
Yeah, I definitely had a quicker step as the year went on. Just a little bit more confidence in myself. I was playing.
What were you playing? What weight did you play your freshman year at?
My freshman year at the beginning, because when I came in, I was recruited as kind of like a hybrid safety linebacker. I was supposed to play what Brock played, that strike position. And then when Matt Gill got hurt, I got moved to Will coming in. So I was maybe 105 when I first, or maybe 205 when I came in, and then I got up to about 215 maybe.
Was there a certain weight where you thought that's too much? Was 215 perfect for you?
No, I got up to about 225. That was like my key weight. That was where I was consistently playing at.
You were comfortable at 225?
Yeah, I felt good at 225.
To try and get yourself back in this ball game. No.
Devon's kick rolls inside the 5.
What a kick.
And Lehigh pins the Leopards back at the 1. So they can't get
We score on this drive, though, don't we?
on the scoreboard, but Austin
no, this is the one where we get the 4th down and 1. I think there's a 4th and 1. And everybody was calling for us to go for it from our own 10-yard line. It was like 4th and I think it was a bad spot. We'll see.
This was the worst scenario to be in, though.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, back
yeah, it's like the momentum's fine.
That's like a crazy bounce.
Ball's on the 1.
Yeah, it's like an insane bounce.
Dangerous moment there for Lafayette.
Man, I like a much simpler backfield action when you're back that far up into your own end zone.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of misdirection kind of counter plays out of your own.
A slow development play.
Not when you have to block back on a 3-tech that's probably pinching down from the weak side.
2nd and 8 from the 3. Scheuerman again, wrapped up again, right around the 5 as the Mountain Hawks rally to the football, led by Laquan Lambert.
If I remember, you ran the ball 3 times coming out of the end zone, and then we got really close to the 1st down. I mean, we have to obviously get to the 11.
That Lafayette was gashing them on before, but now they're playing more aggressive and coming downhill, making Lafayette pay for it. But they have to be disciplined with their eyes. This is a great setup to be able to hit them over the top on some play action. They have to play physical but disciplined here on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 5, give it to Scheuerman. To the 10.
Yeah, I mean, right on the 11-yard line. And I think the spot was, look at the spot down here from the guy at the bottom.
The marker was right around the 11, and Haslow makes the stop on
He ran in, and he gave you the spot, and then he took it away.
4 yards short.
4th and 1, Lehigh's going to
That
get
was
the
a bad
football
spot.
back.
That was a hard, yeah, that was really bad.
Wow.
They marked it just over the 10, and I thought you were at least.
Heck of a job on 3rd down.
That was a bad spot. Oh, coach.
Defensive Coordinator Joe Bonalleri.
On QB sneak it. I got it.
If we have to say 2 strong players to get them fired up about this game, we've recruited
This is Deshaun's play.
It is, yeah.
This is Deshaun Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really nice. Ryan did a nice job. This is a 40-plus yard punt out of his own end zone.
Forster will punt from the goal line.
And you know, late in the day, that grass is getting a little slick. It's getting a little cold.
To the 47.
Big
That's
play.
a heck of a play.
I'm surprised you didn't try and steal him over there to safety after this play.
He was recruited that way. He was supposed to be recruited to come in as a safety.
Because that's an open field tackle.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have been a nice safety.
That's the play here in the 2nd half.
Mountain Hawks haven't exactly flipped the script,
Good kick.
but they have certainly shown the improvement they needed to get back in the game.
So, Brandon, you're playing the will position right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in the boundary right now.
On the handoff,
Okay.
and Jared Roberts on the stop.
I like the intention of getting the football into Pelletier's hands. We know what an explosive playmaker he is. But that time, Lafayette didn't allow itself to get outflanked on the fly sweep. And the gain ended up being minimal on first down.
Big Shapsniski makes the fly sweep again. Now toss it back to Chris Lee, the freshman who has been terrific in the second half. Takes it to the 40. It was Lee who had the 70-yard touchdown run. Darren Wright right in his face.
It's a tough position for you, Coach. I mean, do you go to nickel? Do you not go to nickel? Do you add the extra rusher? You know what I mean? There's still time on the clock here where they may have 2 possessions left, so it's a tough position to be in. You stay regular.
I think that's even going back to the touchdown run is the one you're trying to figure out. You have a 21-point lead. You know they have to throw the ball. So are you playing pass defense and then you get hit with a run? That last drive that they had, they were trying to run the ball there.
Yep.
So
I'd love it if I beat you to the vision cone.
it is a tough situation. As long as that clock keeps ticking, makes it a little bit easier, you know?
Right.
The 38. Show to K again. By the way, this is great. We are in suite number 4, which would be the Lou Gehrig suite here at Yankee Stadium. There's, as you would expect, Yankee history all around, which has been a lot of fun past few days.
Shane Black certainly likes to get his nose down in there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He's always in the mix.
Run on the inside. Now Shepniski's going to keep it with his legs and picks up the first down to the 25-yard line.
Lehigh seizing on the momentum, moving the chains.
Well, looking back on the game, they probably thought they should have used Shepniski's legs even more than they had up to this point. Because that coming out of high school, I had done probably 7 or 8 of his games, and he just was basically a tailback in a quarterback's body.
Shapniski on the option, keeps it.
Yeah, I think as his career went on, they definitely started to use him more in that light.
He never was a very accurate thrower, although he had a great game later on against us. I think it might have been your junior year. Well, maybe it was your senior year, Brendan. He had a nice game throwing the ball, but he was never really an accurate thrower. But obviously, he had a lot of talent running the football, and he was a big kid too. He wasn't a small kid. He was thick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was with the Eagles for a little bit, but he was at safety, I think.
Did they move? Was that right?
Yeah, I think he tried out for the Eagles as a safety.
Really?
Yeah.
Around the 22-yard line. Third down coming up. Brockman and Kirkpatrick on the stop.
Yeah, he was lined up on Josh Parrish and beat him inside. Look at the left of your screen. Parrish is trying to stalk him out there, but Brockman just throws him to the ground.
This was a huge play.
And now the Leopards
that was just huge. 3rd and 6. To 3.
Colin.
From the 25.
Yeah, if you're Lehigh, you have some decisions to make, and I think this is the point in the game.
Shane was there also, wasn't he?
Where you have to go for it. But
4th down and 9, Brendan. Walk me through it. You know it.
Lafayette's been aggressive on their blitzing.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, that was the first one of my career.
And this is the show and flip.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sacked back at the 33. He fumbles the football. He was down, but either way, the Leopards take over, bringing the all-out blitz on.
There's no way he was down on that.
It's Brandon Bryant who gets home first.
Oh no, that was a fumble. That was for sure a fumble.
Excellent job that time of showing blitz.
Was it a fumble?
Oh yeah, no, the ball definitely came
Oh,
out.
that ball came out as soon as he got hit.
Oh, for sure.
And they called him down. And you know what? That makes me angry because You did the same thing to the Colgate quarterback your senior year, and they didn't call it a fumble. I still remember that play. First series, second series, you hit what's his name, and he fumbled, and they didn't give it to us.
Yeah, I remember that one too, because it was me and Hinchin on the blitz on that one.
Right. Yeah, and you hit him, and I remember turning around, and they reviewed it, and they still called him down. That makes me angry. All right, guys. Last drive, or last touchdown drive of your senior lives here. 9 plays, 67 yards.
Huge drive.
Roberto Aguayo is going to make himself a lot of money in the NFL. That kid is money.
My question is, all right, the selection committee bumped TCU because they had the close one against Kansas.
Are you keeping your eye on the clock right now as well? Zach, is coach telling you kind of to come out of the huddle?
Yeah, we're trying to bleed the clock a little bit, make sure we're running it down to, 2, 3, 4 seconds before we snap it.
And Ross, you're obviously trying to stay in bounds.
Stay in bounds, yeah.
Scheuerman has been impressive in every facet today for the Leopards. Now, running the football and staying in bounds. You can see him picking his way.
3rd down and 2, 7 minutes left. 6 minutes left.
He's a savvy vet, and the reason he's staying in bounds is, of course, because he wants this clock to just tick away. Right now, officially, Lafayette is in its 4-minute offense. The 4-minute offense is the opposite of a 2-minute offense. It's the offense where you want to be able to get as many yards as you can and take as much time off the clock.
There we go.
Direct snap, Scheuerman first down easily, rolling to the Lehigh 43.
Things are starting to get chippy down there on the field.
Yeah, they were getting a little chippy down there, huh?
Some frustration.
A little bit.
In, but that's just that same
they were just trying to grab the ball. Trying to get a turnover.
Lehigh just simply hasn't had an answer for it. At the point of attack from the backside, doesn't matter. They're getting
Ross, I'm sure you felt this the next day after this game.
Yeah, I stayed me and a couple of people stayed in the city that night, but like I woke up, I had got hit in the thigh, and I could barely walk the next morning. I took a shot right on the thigh. Yeah, right on the quad.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
I miss feeling like that though. Next day.
60 times we will. He's got 40 carries for 268.
He just made a good point. Said Coach T said if we had to run Ross Scheuerman 60 times, we will.
Lafayette's career list. I love the quote from Frank Tavares.
My kids were at the game, and they were in just starting high school, and they were. I remember my daughter saying, "Yeah, that was a fun game. Ross Scheuerman, right? Ross Scheuerman." My daughter was like, she was just like, "Is that all you guys do? Is give the ball the right?" She knows nothing about football, but
going to a single high look and bringing that other safety down into the alley.
You guys did a really nice job on this drive, milking the clock and running the football. I mean, I don't think we threw the football just the last play of this drive. I think it was the only pass of the entire drive.
Yeah, had a couple big chunk runs.
Yeah, we did not. I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 plays and a penalty. Not one pass until the last.
Inside the 20. Scheuerman stays in bounds.
Wow. You know what's crazy?
300.
All those runs to the left. And now, hey, everybody overplay the left side, and here I go cut back to the right.
Yeah. It's a thing of beauty when that happens, though, on those stretch plays. You just cut it all the way across the back.
All the way back.
Yeah, I mean, that's back behind the backside corner.
Yeah.
Everyone's shoulders completely turned, too.
Oh, that is a bad Sunday for coaches.
Yeah, that's one you don't look forward to going into the office.
Exactly.
That hurts, too, for that backside corner. Supposed to be contained, you catch a stiff arm.
Ross Scheuerman.
Catch a handful of Rollins face or fist.
And thanks in large part to Ross Scheuerman. Lafayette has been successful. 3 trips, 2 touchdowns, both of them from Scheuerman. And if they're going to get in the end
You're going to have to stop calling it stiff arm and start calling it a Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Oh my gosh.
That's a bad man.
Yeah, that's a different.
He's literally a fridge. He's a fridge that runs a 4.5.
He is fast, man. Like,
Yeah.
you don't realize it once he gets going.
To run 90-yard touchdown, have 90-yard touchdown runs in the NFL.
And he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, he's done it multiple times. Ross, who were you most impressed with when you got to the pro level? Like, what one player were you like, wow? I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Is there anybody that's
honestly, just in Pittsburgh, like watching the first teamers play, like watching Ben and Antonio Brown practice was like ridiculous. Because I mean, I wasn't getting like many reps at that point. Like I was sitting back there like waiting for the third team to go in, and you would just get to watch like Ben and Antonio Brown. If it was like a broken play, they're scrambling around. And
was Le'Veon there still?
Yeah, Le'Veon was there. Le'Veon was awesome to watch too. But I mean, he just had such a different style.
Yeah, he's so patient.
So, I mean, nobody has a style like him, really. I mean, I didn't have that style, so it's tougher to learn from a guy like that.
But you showed. But it's funny you say that because in this game you showed a little bit of that, at least allowing the blockers to get in front of you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely have patience, but like he had like a different level of patience.
Yeah.
Hard to believe a week ago against Colgate, he only had 34 rushing yards on 18 carries.
What do you think about him in KC?
I didn't think he was going to go there. It's interesting.
Yeah.
They don't need any more weapons, though.
Yeah. Now, Brendan, tell me, you were with the Reds for a while too. What was impressive about that for you? Before we get to this final score.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome experience. When I was there, Jay Gruden was still there, so I was able to kind of sit down when we had lunch, like have conversations with him, and I think if I was in any other situation, he would not have spoken to me. Obviously, being kind of coming on a rookie minicamp situation, the head coach probably wouldn't even know who you are. But obviously, in that situation, it was a little bit different. So it was definitely an awesome experience. Really good group of guys over there. So I enjoyed it.
Very nice. Yeah, and you know, obviously, not a lot of Lafayette people get a chance to do that, but that is a special. And it shows how special kind of players you guys were. And it's not just from a standpoint of athletic ability. They do, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, they look at everything about you. They're not going to bring in the wrong people because they don't want to do anything like that. So let's get to this play. Zach, tell me a little bit about what the call is maybe and what your thoughts are.
Is this the play?
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe after this one.
No, yeah, I think it was fourth down.
One play early.
We decided to go for it.
It was
actually, I didn't realize that. It was fourth down.
Yeah, because I remember we were on the sideline, and we were thinking about whether or not we want to kick it. But I think after the first field goal, we were just like, yeah, let's just go for it.
Right.
There was some slights towards Ross Scheuerman because of some injuries throughout the year as well.
So Lehigh spent their last time out, and we have a fourth down and 21.
This is the type of game you want to have.
Right, fourth down and 21. Yeah.
To several players from both teams, and he was one of the guys.
So you go to the sideline and talk to coach, and he says we're going to go for it on fourth down, and he wants you to throw it to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was all streaks. So just reading that near deep safety, and he stayed on the hash, and I was like, okay, we have Matt Mrazek, who's a big guy out there, and both their D-backs are pretty short. I was like, okay,
right, they were.
Throw it up and let Matt catch it. That's what he did.
6 rushing yards in the 50-38 win. But a school record rushing performance today, over 300 yards.
To go empty also?
4th and 21.
Empty, yep.
Shows you the amount of confidence they have in their field goal kicker.
Zweizig to the end zone. It is
wow.
Caught
Yeah, the corner was just backpedaling the whole time.
Yeah. But you know what? That's the former DB. That's scary. I mean, I was never a corner, but 6'5", and the ball's perfect.
Yeah, you put it up high.
The ball is perfect. And the last pass of your career is the touchdown.
Last pass. I will never throw a football ever again.
Amazing. Wow.
In 2014 after shutting it down last year, and this is his moment.
Zweizig has thrown some dimes tonight.
We won't talk about the missed extra point, which Coach probably flipped out about. But let's take another look at this play right here. What a throw. And you know what? You said it. He had that same Mark Ross, just that little lean, that little separation where you're not going to call it on me. And you can see it. He slows down and just boxes and then reaches. Good, great receiver.
He played a lot like a basketball player.
Phenomenal kid. Yep. I got chills.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even play in the game.
One of the reasons the coaching staff said Zach Zweizig came back for his senior year was to be a leader on this football team, to mentor the guys who were going to take over at QB. Drew Reed, Blake Searfoss. Now Searfoss, foot injury. We mentioned Drew Reed also had a foot injury.
Did you guys make it back to campus that night? And I know, Ross, you said you stayed in the city. But did the bus go back to campus? And what was that like?
Yeah, I went back.
I can't even imagine.
I know there was a big party. I was honestly so sore and hurting. I didn't go to the party. I just went back and relaxed, slept it off. I know, pretty lame, but I was hurting.
I did go out.
You did.
This is exactly what you were talking about, Aaron. The emotions of this game, of the rivalry, and the joy on that Lafayette sideline. Truly special.
Well, Carter, we talked about it in the open, the opportunity to create a lifetime full of memories and leave their mark in the history.
I was impressed with Aaron Taylor, the color guy. I thought he did a really nice job of feeling Lafayette Lehigh, because you always worry about that. I mean, this is a game that Gary and I did not get to do, and we had done so many games. Gary had done 18, 19, 20 games up to that point. At that point, for me, it was number 5, I think. I've done 11 of them now.
And who was the announcer in the booth? What's
well, I know Aaron Taylor, who's a former Notre Dame guy, and he's on every weekend. He does games. I don't know who the other guy was, the play-by-play guy, but Aaron Taylor still works now, and he's really good. But he had a really good feel for what this meant. He must have done his homework. And they certainly did their homework on you, Zach, and they certainly did their homework on Ross.
That's why these games are big. That's why these games are special. Their record prior to this is irrelevant. These kids,
they definitely did a good job. Nice job.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they showed up, played together.
Brandon, you guys are in that nickel right now, right? So you're still at the wheel.
Yeah.
Last series.
But how about that offensive line? He's hugging his center right there.
Yeah. This is
I mean, these guys up front, in my estimation, did an outstanding job.
8-man drop.
I can't get over Gino. How different he looks. And Gino.
Oh, that's great.
Celebration is well underway in Yankee Stadium in Easton, Pennsylvania, and wherever the Lafayette Leopards are.
I remember it was hard to get out of the stadium. People were just, it was crazy.
The way their guys showed up, and it's fitting that the defense steps up and takes a play. The leading tackler on this team, a junior, out of Wheeling, West Virginia. You know, Mark Dodd's teammates back at Lindsley High School have to be happy about that play he just showed.
Picture right there of Brian Keller, too. Brian.
Crazy.
As Gary says, the greatest formation ever.
It's the victory formation. Zweizig takes a knee, and now Lafayette can count it down. A A 21-0 lead at the half for
What a
Lafayette
night.
on Lehigh, but with 48,000 plus.
So I think this is the first time I've watched this game since. I've only seen the defensive side. I haven't really seen the offense. So there's a lot of this I didn't remember.
Yep. Well, from an alumni
Still doesn't feel like
standpoint,
6 years ago. But
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's insane.
I can't believe it.
It doesn't
man.
feel like 6 years ago.
It doesn't.
But yeah, what this did for the alumni, and really, you know, it meant a lot. It really meant a lot, because I really can't imagine losing this game, and what that would have meant. But it really meant a lot to the alums. It meant a lot to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, what Ross said earlier, that I still get people that come up to me and ask me about this game. I was at a minor league baseball game, actually the Reading Phillies, and my family wanted to do a picture, so we asked this one person that we didn't know, hey, do you mind taking a picture? They took the picture, and the person's like, do you know who I am? I was like, no. He's like, dude, I know who you are. You play that Yankee Stadium game. I was like, okay.
Oh,
yeah, it happened to me.
There's so many random people that just obviously I don't know, and they're like, yeah, we watched you on TV. You were at Yankee Stadium. That's so cool.
Yeah, I spoke at a banquet last year. One of my old high school coaches, he's the head coach at Chatham High School now. I spoke there last year at their banquet, and like 3 of the parents came up to me afterwards, like, oh, like we watched you in the 150th game. Like, our kid's going to Lafayette now. Like, he was an incoming freshman or something.
That's
like
awesome.
Crazy. It's funny though, you don't realize,
and it'll
like,
never
our
end.
school is so small. It's just, but you don't realize the reach that it has and the connections that are there. It's crazy.
Well, guys, we got an opportunity to watch one of the most amazing games, a chance for people to relive their memories. And obviously you guys got a chance to relive your memories. And I can't do enough for spending a little bit of time. It's been, a quick 2 hours. And, I know I watch games over and over, and I'm sure you guys do. We'll start with Coach McFadden. Coach, your thoughts on that game, and obviously how much these kids mean to the program, and obviously moving forward, what being a Lafayette football player is all about.
I think that game says it all, what being a Lafayette football player is about. I mean, you sit and you listen to these guys tell a story. Zach telling a story about someone 6 years later, 5-6 years later, remembering the game, Zach and Ross both. But the memories that I have from watching it and watching these guys go out there and perform. I mean, I get goosebumps sitting here talking about it now. I'm fortunate and happy and blessed that I'm still in a situation where I am around to be at the next Lafayette Lehigh game. And so for the guys that's coming, hopefully we have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to experience what these guys have experienced, because to me, that was one of the once in a lifetime experiences that I've had in my career.
Well, we appreciate it. Really well said, Coach. And you've been a stalwart on the sideline for Lafayette, and we're better off because you've been here and you're going to continue to be here. And guys like Brandon and Ross and Zach, I can't tell you how much fun it was to watch you guys play. Please keep these things in your heart, pass them along to other people, and it is so great to see you guys moving along and obviously being so successful. And we wish you the best. And don't be a stranger. Please reach out. Coach is always on the sideline. I'm up in the booth, and we look forward to the next time we see you. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Mike. Appreciate it.
No problem.
See you guys.
All of us on the Lafayette Sports Network hope you enjoyed tonight's retelecast of game number 150 between Lafayette and Lehigh. I, for one, cannot wait for the next game in the rivalry, number 156. Special thanks to John Sabino, who edited the game, moderator Mike Joseph, and our guests Zach Zweizig, Ross Scheuerman, and Brandon Bryant. I'm Gary Laubach. Goodbye, everybody.